Hey everyone, it's Justin. If we haven't met before, I'm an outdoor adventurer and I love dreaming up wild trips to go on here in Colorado, like my 14-year backpacking trips, my many ridge traverses, or just traveling really fast and far on the Colorado Trail. Today we're going to learn some beginner CalTopo, so strap in. Right now, I'm planning out and mapping a backpacking trip to take my friends on this summer. And since I've got somewhat of a reputation for misadventure, I kind of want to make sure this trip is safe and fun for everyone involved, and not just me. Since this trip includes both on trail as well as off trail travel, I thought this would make a good example to teach you all how to plan and map out your own trips. So fire up CalTopo yourself and feel free to follow along. I'll leave a link to this very map in the description of the video for you to check out later. Okay, let's get started. Let's head on over to caltopo.com, and before we begin, let's take a quick look around. In the center, we have the actual map that we can click and drag to move around. We also have buttons on the left-hand side to zoom in and out. There are a few other ways to zoom as well. If you have a mouse with a scroll wheel, you can use that to zoom in and out. Or if you have a trackpad like I do, you can pinch to zoom. On the top, we have a simple toolbar which includes a search bar for location. Search for a specific place in the world, and CalTopo will dutifully go to that location, so long that it exists, of course. On the right-hand screen, we have our map layers. CalTopo has a pretty incredible library of different map layer types that can help you plan all kinds of trips. I do a lot of backpacking, and I find that the default topo base layer works pretty well. I'm usually in the mountains where elevation gain and loss plays a big part in how easy or hard my trips are. So, I also love using shaded relief. Shaded relief really makes all those mountains really easy for me to visualize. Under Route Discovery, the MapBuilder overlay is also useful to enable. This makes trails and other landmarks on the map really stand out. Now, on the left-hand side are all the tools we can use to draw our own items on our map. Today, I'll mostly be adding markers and drawing lines. In other words, labeling the places I want to go and drawing the route I want to take to get to those places. For this trip, we're going to check out the Sangre de Cristo Range. It's one of my favorite places to explore in Colorado, and I can't wait to share it with my friends. I'd like to take them deep into the range on a network of trails to a cool campsite right by some high alpine lakes, which themselves are found right by the main ridgeline. This ridgeline basically extends across the entire range. It's absolutely incredible. Then, on our second day is when our adventure really starts. We're going to venture off trail and actually traverse part of that ridgeline, finishing up at another awesome camp spot. And finally, on day 3, we'll hike out back to the trailhead. Let's start our trip from the town of Crestone, Colorado. To do that, I'll search for Crestone, Colorado in that search bar, and CalTopo should cruise right to town. Crestone is a really funky place, and it's well worth a visit all on its own. It has all the amenities of a good trail town, with a coffee shop, post office, grocery store, and some excellent wood-fired pizza to await us on our way back. If we look around the town, we can see there are a ton of trails leading out of town and into the wilderness to the northeast. On my map, all these solid red lines are trails that CalTopo knows about. Looks like we got some options. Dragging the map around, I like this section of the ridge between these two trails, which I think could make a really great place to explore off-trail. And as luck would happen, there's a trail below this part of the ridge that if things go sideways, we could always bail onto if needed. Now, I've hiked this ridgeline many times myself, but let's pretend that I'm not sure this ridgeline is hiked at all. Check this out. In CalTopo on the right-hand menu, under Route Discovery, look for a layer called Shared CalTopo Maps. Click on it to enable. Wow, at the very least, we know that a lot of people are sharing public CalTopo maps that cross over this part of the ridge. Let's disable that map layer by clicking Shared CalTopo Maps again to clean up the view. And let's start playing out our backpacking trip at this trailhead outside of town. From doing a little research online, I know this area has ample parking, and it seems pretty safe from break-ins as well as from bears. So that I don't lose where I want to start, let's first add a marker at this trailhead. In CalTopo, click the Add button on the left-hand menu, then select Marker. A new marker will appear in the center of the map, which you can click and drag around. Let's drag it right on that trailhead. Then, let's change the label to Trailhead. Finally, I'll click the button labeled OK. And with that, we've made our first custom CalTopo map. Congratulations. CalTopo will pop up a little window and ask us if we want to save this map. And of course I do, because I'm going to use it later on the trip. I'll change the name of my map to something I'll remember, then I'll click Save. If you don't already have a CalTopo account, it'll ask you to create one. And if you're a new subscriber to CalTopo, use my code, LongRanger25, to get 25% off your first year of any individual subscription. All right, back to the map. Let's put another marker at those lakes near the ridgeline where I'd like to camp on day 1. And here's another way to add a marker that I think is a little easier. Right-click or control-click on the exact area you want that marker to live. This will pop up a little box. Under Add Object here, select Marker, and let's label this one Camp Day 1. And then I'll add another marker at that second campsite I want to camp at labeled Camp Day 2, the exact same way. Now let's connect all our markers with some lines from the trailhead to each campsite, then back to the trailhead. If you look over the left-hand menu, you'll see all our markers. Let's click on the one labeled Trailhead. You'll see that CalTopo will zoom and center onto that marker. Clicking on these listings is one way we can easily find markers on our map. Let's click on the Add button on the left-hand menu, but now I'll select Line instead of Marker. You'll notice that all the trails CalTopo already knows about are outlined in yellow. If we want, CalTopo can snap onto these trails so we don't have to trace them manually. Let's try that out. I'll start by drawing a line on the map by clicking right at the trailhead. And when I do, you'll see the start of my new line is anchored at that one point on the map. If I move my pointer around, you can see that I can extend that line anywhere I want. If my line segment gets close to a trail, it'll snap into place and draw it onto the trail once I click again. So let's drag the map around and trace the trails lead up to that lake. And look, don't worry if you mess up. Just press the Escape key to undo the last part of the line that you just drew. To finish a line, double-click on a point on the map rather than a single click. Boom, just like that. Once the line is drawn, I can click on it, which will select it and also bring up a box about my line. Let's click Edit, which brings up another box where I can do some customization. Let's name this line Day 1. Because there's already a lot of red lines on my map, I want my own lines to stand out. Let's change the color of my line to purple. I'll make it a little wider as well, and click OK when we're done. On the left-hand side, we can see the line we just created under Lines and Polygons, labeled Day 1. If we're having trouble finding the line on the map, we can always click on its listing here, and CalTopo will zoom and center onto its location, just like it did with our trailhead marker. The window that pops up will also show us some useful information, including the distance of the line. We can do a really quick reality check here and make sure that this is a distance we can travel in a day. Almost 7.5 miles. That's doable. Since we're in the mountains, it may be a good idea to also double check the elevation gain too. Let's click on Profile to bring up the elevation profile. Okay, wow, it's not even 8 miles, but it's over 4,000 feet in elevation gain. That's about the limit my friends and I are going to tolerate when it comes to hiking with a backpack filled with overnight gear, but that's a reasonable enough distance and elevation gain to have time to make camp and enjoy the lake before it gets too dark, and we need to call it for the night. Day 2 now is our big day off trail and onto the ridge. So let's create a new line for Day 2. Here's another way to start a line. I'm going to right-click or control-click at the point on the map where I want to start my new line for Day 2. When the box pops up, under Add Object here, I'll now select Line. Let's trace the trail we took down to the lake and backtrack a bit to the ridge. From here, we'll follow the ridge north. You'll notice that CalTopo won't automatically snap to the ridge line like it does for trails, because there's no trails here. There is a yellow line, but I think that's probably just a county line demarcation labeled on my base map. Instead, let's manually trace the crest of the ridgeline until we get to the next trail that reaches it to the north. To do this, we simply click on the point of the map we'd like our line drawn. And every time we click on the map, CalTopo will create a new line segment. Now, when we make lines like this, we want to be mindful on exactly where we're placing our points. For us, we want to make sure that each point is pretty much right on the crest of the ridge and not slightly off. This will make sure the line will be guiding us the right way and our distance and elevation are a little more precise. Awesome, I've traced the ridge line to the next trail. And remember, just because we can draw a line anywhere we want, doesn't mean that it's actually going to be hikeable. Just don't forget to do your research before heading out. Once near the trail, we'll move our cursor onto it, wait till it locks on, and click to make another line segment following it. We'll repeat that all the way to that next campsite we labeled at the second lake. Once at the campsite, I'll double click to finish up that line. Awesome. Let's click on the line and change this line's color to purple too. Make it wider again, and let's call this day 2. Let's also check out the distance and elevation gain for this day. Another way to pull up distance and elevation gain is by clicking on the line graph on the left-hand menu next to the line we want to check out. All right, about 7 miles and about 3,500 feet of elevation gain. Again, it's not a long distance, but this is a lot of elevation gained, with a ton of ups and downs as we traverse the peaks on the ridge, off trail, and hiking on some pretty gnarly talus. If we want to see where on the map the elevation profile graph corresponds to, we can hover over the graph itself, and CalTopo will show a roving dot tracing our line. If we click on the graph, CalTopo will zoom and center on the map to that exact point. Nice. And playing around, it looks like Eureka Mountain will be our high point. I'm going to add another label here. What the heck? On our trip, it could be cool to tell my friends about our high point and maybe plan on taking a group photo there to remember our trip by. Now we just have to finish up and get back to the trailhead on day 3. I'm going to mostly retrace our steps out on our third and final line. We're all going to be a little tired, and I don't want too many surprises before pizza. Knowing what we know now about making lines, this should be easy. Because day 3 is all on trails, we can draw it out just like we did for day 1. All right, control click right by the lake. Add object here, align, snap onto the trail, and then we'll just trace our trails back to the trailhead. Nice work. All right, let's click on the line, edit, call this day 3, and change the width, change this to purple. We're good to go. All right, our 3-day trip is all planned out. I got CalTopo installed on my phone as well, and now I can open up the map we just created and use it to navigate while on our trip, which is kind of awesome. All right, that's it for me. I hope you learned a little bit more about CalTopo and just how powerful of a trip creation and planning tool it really is. There's so much more to cover, so make sure to like this video and subscribe to be notified when my next tutorial drops. And as always, until I see you again, long may you rage.